has failed to prevent 5 recent teen suicides and 3 attacks on our own community this past month alone. We have been promised protection, and yet we are here today, a year later, still mourning the losses of our community. We have been promised protection at the expense of other LGBT brown bodies in Iraq, who now face increased military presence and bombings due to the same act which promised to prevent violence against our communities. We have been promised the kind of protection that places more and more people of color behind bars for longer, only to come out poorer and more likely to commit a crime of survival, as well as more likely to have learned homophobic behavior. We have been promised the kind of protection that in actuality is no protection at all. Because for lesbian, gay, bisexual, two-spirit, and gender non-conforming people of color, protection from the police means over-policing in our communities and unlawful arrests. It means often being arrested ourselves when we call for help and being re-victimized or denied medical treatment. It means trans women being accused of soliciting sex for simply standing on a block. Because of this kind of protection we are asking for will not come from an inherently racist, sexist, homophobic, and transphobic institution like the NYPD. It comes from community who says no to hate violence. It comes from bodega owners, school custodians, and church members who have the courage to intervene in harassment when they see it happen. These may not be the kind of stories we are used to hearing about on the news, but these are the kind of actions that are making change. It is important to also take leadership and direction from lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender young people of color, such as Fierce, who have been organizing a campaign around creating a youth center on the pier. It is time for us to stop wanting protection from hate violence and start creating safety in our neighborhoods and on our blocks. Thank you.
All right. And next up is Simba from GMAD.
Stop the bullying!
Stop the suicide!
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 Let's have a moment of silence. A moment of silence to remember Mosey Diaz, a young lesbian girl from New York City who had everything to live for. A moment of silence to remember Raymond Chase, a young black man that took his life before he learned his alphabet. A moment of silence for Aisha Hassan, who was preparing for longevity for her career. A moment of silence for Joseph Jefferson, my discreet best friend who taught me how to speak in public in front of crowds. A moment of silence for Tyler Clementi, who thought no one would accept his sexuality and his so-called discreet sex life. Let's have a moment of silence for everyone we've lost through the BS and just through suicide. Right now, let's stop the BS, asking ourselves, are we part of the problem? Stop the BS by joining our local school PTAs. Stop the BS by giving our shoulders to those who are different than us. Instead of giving them our backs. Stop the BS by letting them, the victims, know that they are beautiful. Let them know that they are worthy. Let them know that they are loved. And speak out on these issues. Today, right this moment, right this second, and the days and weeks and months and years that come ahead of us, let's stop the BS. You believe that you can make a difference. It's you. Believe that your voice is heard. You know that you are the cure to stop the BS. But we must start now, not now, but right now.
Stop the bullying! Stop the suicide! 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 Thank you.
And staying with the Gaming of African Descent theme, we will bring up the Executive Director, Toke Sosubu.
Good afternoon. Thanks for coming. Today we begin the march to end the bullshit. We truly have to end the bullshit. And I beg of you, everyone here, it will not take 1 or 10 organizations to fix this. It affects each and every one of us. Let me tell you or share with you something that came in our email this morning. And it says, we all have blood on our hands because we made this happen, we were the cause of this. I reject that accusation. I totally rejected that accusation. And within this crowd, we have some people who are accusing us of doing stuff. You know, our young people are dying, you know, because they cannot go home, because they don't have homes to go to. A place of safety, a place of comfort that says to them that they're okay. Many of us, we have parents and friends that say we're okay, and that gives us the strength to go on. But when you, as members of our own community, don't step up to support your own community organization, I'm sorry, you are part of the problem. And I'm saying that to those who say these things are not in this crowd right now. But to the most of you who are here, I thank you, because this is way, way too important. When a 26-year-old takes his own life, we do have a problem. When a 19-year-old jumps off a ledge to take her own life, that is a problem. And we have to take it very, very seriously. The BS has to stop now. We need to start marching and marching together. Sex or same-sex marriage is so important, but guess what? None of these people are going to enjoy same-sex marriage. None of these people are going to enjoy same-sex marriage. Let's talk about homelessness amongst our gay youth. Let's talk about the molestation of our gay youth by family members, which we never talk about because guess what? It's so dirty. It is very dirty. We need to talk about it. Fathers raping and having sex with their own sons just to make them men. We cannot have that. That has to stop, and it has to stop today. However, if we do not speak up, it is not going to stop. The moment a young child is touched by a family member or an adult in a wrong way, that person starts to die. Death just doesn't happen when that person hangs himself. That is not the way it works. It's a slow process, and too many of our young people are dying. And the truth is, people like me, in their 50s, in their 40s, are also dying. Because we live with so much pain and there's no one there to comfort us. So don't think it's just the young people. You know, I am not always gay wherever I go to or wherever I am. This world is so cruel. But there's so much cruelty that we inflict on one another in the name of whatever. It has to stop. So as you leave here today, please take with you the BS has to stop. Thank you. Anthony Wayne, we have someone who's going to do a song, and we're going to be lighting candles at the same time, and we thank you for coming, Anthony, and it's very cute too. Anthony Wayne will perform a song. Thank you very much.
So you know, I'm so happy to be here, and it's very evident that, you know, we all want this to stop, we all want it to change. However, it's up to us to stay encouraged and to be leaders, and for people to believe in what we are and who we are and what we stand for. And at the same time, it's up to us for people to see us in a great light. And so I encourage you all to continue to stay strong and to stay happy and to stay joyous and to live. And I'm just gonna sing this song. Why should I be discouraged? And why should the shadows come? Why should my heart be lonely and long for heaven and home? When Jesus is my portion, a constant friend is His eyes on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. Oh, I sing because I'm happy, and I sing because I'm free. His eyes on the sparrow, and I know that He watches me. Oh, I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. His eyes on the sparrow, and I know that He watches you and me.
Okay, and last but not least on our program, I want to bring up members of Fierce, Myra and Veronica.
Go Myra, I love you.
Hello. Okay. Hello, everyone. How are you feeling today? My name is Myra, and I'm an active member of Fierce. We are all here today for the same reason: to stop the BS. In the past 7 weeks, we have lost over a dozen LGBTQ youth to suicide, not to mention the others who were victims of violence here in New York City. And this is only what we know of. Fierce is a member-led organization for LGBTQ youth of color who are dedicated to fighting the levels of oppression and creating change for our community. Last Thursday, October 21st, we were able to get Mayor Bloomberg to issue an official proclamation to declare October 8th LGBTQ Youth Empowerment Month. Yes, this was a great victory for our community. Over the past few weeks, we were also experiencing the resiliency and the strength of our community as we've organized and returned out to vigils and community actions and mourned our losses together. Yet